Look at the size of that. How many horsepower? Alright, welcome to part 2 of our memories with Dave. And we're back on the farm where Dave worked 70 years ago, wasn't it? Was it 70 years ago? About that, wasn't it?
Getting on.
Getting on. We're going to go and see Reg Pearson in a minute, but I'll just talk to you a little bit about where we're stood now. So this is probably very different from when you were here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you still got that old stone barn there.
Yeah.
Would have been here when you were there, wouldn't it?
No.
No? No, but the old barn behind it would have been, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
But everything else...
Slope on that.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
But everything else here is all brand new, isn't it? And we'll probably go and see the grain store and everything in a minute. Well, what was it like when you were here?
We had a David Brown tractor.
Right.
And a Thorson on spade lugs.
On spade lugs, so no tyres. They were those metal steel wheels.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in the winter, if you want to start up, you start on petrol.
Yeah.
And go over to TVO.
Right.
And you want to clip the clutch down.
Yeah.
Putting in reverse, starting up, and because it blooming thick oil in the clutch,
Right.
there's only plates, and he'd start coming out, look, so you want to running jump on there, then
Right.
get out a bit more, and he'd stop, you know.
So when you were working here, what did they have? Was it a mixed farm, or was it cattle and sheep, or beef, or
Cattle, sheep,
but not many of them, I would have thought, was it?
you know, and a few sort of odds, you know. But yeah, we had a bull, you know.
Yeah, and so back to the buildings. You see, I can only remember it really what it's like now. But I think my dad said there was a mill pond and some old barns and stuff. Were they were all gone?
Yeah.
Was there a mill pond here when you were there?
Yeah, but what was this building here? This was the.
It's a workshop now, I think.
Yeah, is there steps outside?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh well, this was a tractor house.
Was it?
Yeah.
So that's where you kept your old Ford, was it? And
Yeah. I had a nice big tank of oil.
Yeah.
You know, tractor vaporizing.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Pierce came out and got some out, and she left the tap room.
Oh no! It all went on the floor.
Oil went everywhere. I'm glad it wasn't me.
Well, should we go and find Reg and see what he's got to say?
Where is he in there?
Yeah. Here we go. We have the two musketeers now. Here we go. We got Dave, 89. Yeah. Reg, 74, was it?
74.
So combined
73, 74 in April.
So the combined knowledge here is pretty good. We're going to go and talk a little bit about the history of your farm, what you've done here. Maybe see a new tractor. How long have you worked here, Reg? Then, so you 74. When did you start?
This is 1969, wasn't it?
1969.
Somewhere that way, wasn't it? 1970.
Yeah.
Somewhere that way.
And when did you leave here then, Dave? You left here in the 50s?
1969, didn't you?
Yeah,
60s,
like that.
right.
Yeah.
So you've both seen quite a lot of changes in farming, haven't you? And life and stuff.
Oh, I'm very interested in it still, you know.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see some of the modern stuff Dave's Reg has got.
We can talk us about the old as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
You know, all the old standard force.
Four for a ransom.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're talking about the old machinery you used to have then. So you're
ransom on the suit major, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're taking me to a different era then, you see, because I've only ever seen these tractors in vintage shows. You guys actually use them. So what was it you said? Super Major.
Your dad and your gram fell out.
Yeah, they fell out years before that, didn't they?
Yeah, and I went up there to work for your gram.
Yeah.
And he had a high major.
That's it, the old standard Ford, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that he had the ground behind other side of the line, didn't it?
Yeah.
Reg Snellman was driving he then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Knuckle Day was on the back, taking the bags off.
So what was this tractor?
That was old Alice Chalmers combine, Alice Chalmers tractor.
On a combine.
And it caught fire, you reckon?
The tractor did.
Yeah.
We had take the top off and get all out. It was all piled up with bloody straw, wasn't it?
Yeah, straw and chaff, wasn't it, underneath?
So, I mean, your era was definitely horses and sort of single old first early tractors, wasn't it?
Really.
Yeah.
They were
pretty well gone, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did a bit of ploughing, not ploughing, building up for potatoes down the field down there.
Yeah.
with old horse. And
I thought
a
you
young
said.
one.
Yeah, I thought you said you had a horse there.
Yeah.
But you were at the era where it changed to, well, from tractor to four-wheel drive then, wasn't it? When did
Oh,
you
Christ,
first
yeah,
get your
we
four-wheel
were
drives?
on two-wheel drive for bloody many
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Many years.
And when did it change to four-wheel drives? Is that late
Well, I tell you what.
70s?
No, it was must be in the 80s, I
Yeah.
reckon. When the first four-wheel drive were clumsy things, you couldn't hardly turn them.
Right.
There's all county, went all Ford
Yeah.
County, that was it. Having great wheels on it.
Yeah.
So it's slow as hell on the road. You get them going on the road, you nearly wobble off the road and go in the ditch.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, the tractors you got now are phenomenal, aren't they? They're beautiful things to
different
drive.
toys altogether.
Yeah.
Different toys
Yeah.
altogether.
From the era when you were on the spade lugs and the kind of
Oh,
starting handle and
never
all.
got stuck though with they.
No, I bet. No. But you
Never
couldn't.
went to sleep.
Could you drive a spade lug on a road? It would knacker the tarmac, wouldn't it?
No, you had some
Wooden blocks you used to put in, didn't
Blocks.
Really?
put round in that.
What, around the actual wooden lugs?
Between the,
Is that right? Christ, quite a lot of effort, isn't it? Every time you want to go somewhere, isn't it?
yeah. Well, no, we didn't want to roll with that.
No.
We had the David Brown in us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, old
Wow.
David Brown
Can
and
you can remember these older tractors? Can you, Reg?
I
Or-
used it once, so
Right.
just we had metal thing. Father put me on it on the Ford. Was that
Yeah.
Ford? And
Yeah.
they put me subsoiler down in Nova Scotia. God, that was weeks of work down there just pulling that.
Well, it
down.
would be, wouldn't it? I mean, what you do now in probably a day, it would take you weeks on the old kit,
Well,
wouldn't
that's
it?
what it's all about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time in, speed, and
I know. What you can plant now in a week is amazing, isn't
20
it?
acres, 120, 75 acres is my usual days where.
What's that, drilling or ploughing?
Drilling.
Yeah.
Drilling. And,
75 acres.
And he just keeps in front of me.
Yeah. And back in your day, 75 acres, how long would that take? That would probably take you weeks,
When I
wouldn't it?
went, we had an old drill,
You had an old Matty drill, didn't you?
just corn, wasn't it?
just plain corn, wasn't it? The old
yeah.
steel wheels.
And I
Yeah.
took them down to Alberton.
Right.
Took out bloody ages to get down there. There's iron wheels, wasn't
That's
it?
it.
Metal
Right.
wheel.
Of course, there wasn't the traffic around now, was
Oh,
there?
no.
So you
The
could,
road down to Alberton was narrow, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you could hardly get down there.
right. I mean, that's
Goat
all
track,
changed.
When you go past old, it reminds me every time I got to, what's his name? Who owns Alberton? Owns a lot of Alberton. Anyway, you come out of Red Hill Farm, you can go literally straight
Yeah.
across, because that road used to go up past his house, you know,
Oh.
and that was that narrow, wasn't it?
Oh, I know where you mean now.
Yeah.
It comes out by Taylor's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we-
Gunneries. That's
Should we
it.
go and have a look at one of your new tractors then, Reg? Or newish?
Yeah. it's looking-
See what we got compared with what you used to be driving. All right, we're going into the bowels of the earth. What are we going in here to see then, Reg?
Is this original?
This is the old Alvin Blanche drawer.
Hey?
Well, this thing's been in there 40 years.
Oh, Alvin Blanche. So that was one of the first grain dryers, was it? It must have been quite an early model.
We had the old, that old red one over in the stone barn.
Yeah, I know. Cause
And a cleaner, didn't you?
George Wilson built that, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. You can remember that, can't you?
And he bloody fell. And he broke his bloody ribs, didn't he?
Well, when he
Yeah.
was building it.
Yeah.
Ah, he slipped and fell on the bars.
So
There's bars
thi-
across there, wasn't it?
But is this what you use now, this grain
Yeah,
dryer?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
still,
yeah.
I mean, I guess once you,
Don't like using it.
no, I bet it uses a lot of fuel, doesn't it?
It drinks.
Expensive.
It don't drink it, but it's just electric everything.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
right. Lead on.
This is modern. That's a new piece to it.
Yeah,
We keep updating it all the time. It didn't have a chamber on it. It just have a big fan.
so what's it doing? Blowing hot air in there, is
It
it?
burns fuel in that chamber.
Right, blows,
Burns
and
the
that,
fuel in the chamber in
Yeah.
there, and you've got to keep it about 150, 170.
Yeah.
If you go above that, you can burn the corn. Go below, you're not doing much good.
so what happens with the corn? Does it fall down and the air's blown
Now,
through
this,
it?
This conveyor here,
Yeah,
I'll just show a bit, come round this way, so pull it apart for a moment. For cleaning, really.
yeah. Oh, careful where you stood there. I won't follow you in there, I'll take your word for it.
Well, you see the conveyor belt down there?
Ah, right, through
Chain
that.
there,
Yeah,
and it pulls it. It drops in at the top, so that
Yeah.
elevator goes along the top, air flowing up through. There's it follows the go.
yeah,
And that's the fan motor,
okay.
and then it falls over the back end, goes back round, then across a cooler. plate in the bottom here.
Right. Oh, it's got to cool it back down
Yeah,
afterwards.
cool
then.
it down afterwards, yeah.
Right. So basically you'd only dry the grain if you've got a really damp season.
Don't like using this thing.
No.
Last night we were talking about with another farmer. We reckon it's going to cost us nearly £20 a ton to dry.
Wow.
If we had to go drying corn.
So you're not going to want to do that, are you?
You do anything not
Yeah. But that's all depending on the season.
It's here for a guarantee.
Yeah.
Warranty.
Yeah, of course. If you didn't have it, it'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Especially if you have a real wet season, you've
Yeah.
got to dry the air before you dry the corn.
Right.
So you really want it down to humidity down to 64, 65. Then you don't need to dry the air so much. But if you're up in the 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
you're just blowing it around.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
look round here, you see the Aussie rate.
Oh, right. Here we are then. Let's have a look. Oh, crikey. Here we go. So that's really black, isn't it?
You got the other two big bins over there as well.
Yeah. So are you?
Swing around, you see the other side as well. That's
Oh, over there. Is that oilseed rape in there as well?
That's wheat in
That's
there.
wheat.
That's milling wheat in there.
So are you just holding that? Have you sold that yet, or are you holding it to wait and see what
It's
the price
all done
does?
through a big group.
Yeah.
It's all done through a big group, and we sell it as timers want it, when they want it. But at the moment,
Set it all over the.
I don't worry with that.
Be all right.
Pretty old clothes. No, you sell it when they want it.
Yeah.
At the moment, our group is one of the biggest in the country, and we buy it for them as well. So it's a buying sort of service.
Did you have to dry that this year? Or
No,
was it a good
everything
year,
coming
wasn't
in the corn barn. The dryer never turned a wheel.
Because it was a good harvest this year, wasn't it? A good time for
Dryer never
harvest.
turned a wheel.
Right.
Good job.
That's good then. The price of
It's a
diesel.
bit frightening, but
Yeah.
Fill the combine up with bad enough.
So Dave, when you were here, they would combine in. They were putting it in bags, weren't they, off the combine?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we, with all George, he had sort of like pieces like that, and they blow the air up through. You got to put the bags on.
That was over Achington, wasn't it?
But when you were coming off the combine, was that coming into you? I think it was
In
you
the
told
bags.
me when
When you had the Alice Charmer, that was bagged.
bagged straight on the
Use
combine.
special bags
Yeah.
for the air to blow through it.
Yeah, it was.
So rather, because you put your corn into a trailer, don't you? But obviously you were straight into bags, and then you were just
Ah,
leaving
well,
the
you
corn
went down
bag.
the slide on the floor.
Right,
Then about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, my father said, "We got to go and collect the bags."
really, in the
And you
field.
get round there, and the two of you, and get a bit of piece of wood between you,
Right.
pick the front and flick them over into. I
Well,
can
that was
remember all that.
that was
see.
some work then, though, wasn't it?
Every
'Cause
6 hours we had to go and change the bloody bags. That was midnight.
Yeah.
that was some work though, shifting all those bags, wasn't it?
Oh,
Well, no, because it's. I suppose what you're doing about 1 ton to the acre was not less.
yeah.
It's a lot less now.
Yeah.
Now you're talking five.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing, isn't it?
The technology's moving on, and I just read an article in the Grain Farmer now. They talk about a lot more corn per acre.
Are they? Well, they got to because the amount of people in the planet.
Well, I don't know how they're going to grow it. You know, last year. I mean, I do admit, with the agronomists and a soil specialist person comes in. We're measuring all our ground, for nitrogen
Yeah.
and this, that, and t'other. And this is a teacher, Richard. Subsoiling breaks the ground open, releases nitrogen
Yeah.
to the plant.
Yeah.
And we got away by doing things like that by cutting nitrogen down by 50%.
Right.
Yeah.
That is how you save money
yeah,
by
you
doing
don't
it.
plough it much now, no.
No,
I'll show you the crop of rape out here in a minute.
I can see it's looking good, isn't it?
No nitrogen's been put on that.
Wow, really. Would you use any manure or anything? You had that human
Yes,
sewage
we
stuff.
human muck, human
Human
sewage.
muck, innit?
Well, what
long as it
goes round
works.
goes round.
That's right.
You know what? There's a massive demand on that.
Yeah, I bet. There's a never-ending supply as well, isn't there?
Well, they get trouble in the summer months because it dries in the sewer pipes.
Right, oh, does it?
It dries in the sewer pipes, but during now with the flush of rain, they got an absolute surplus because now they have heaps everywhere.
Yeah.
They go, "Oh, flipping heck."
There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Pipe work, Dave, Yeah.
So none of this was here when you were here, Dave, then, was it?
No, this
It's quite a
used to
lot-
be the silage barn, Dave, didn't it?
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Silage pit. I was digging back when you asked me. I thought, oh, bloody get the old books out a minute. We'll have a little look. You can remember when you were digging the holes to this barn?
Yeah.
You had to get some blasted, didn't you?
Yeah, well, what's the name? Come from the quarry, didn't it?
Yeah.
And he bloody took a piece right off his bloody arm. I had to take him to South.
No way.
That's it, yeah.
So,
And did you remember too, Mrs. Hollingworth over there?
Oh, yeah.
You kept having fire, she come over here with a broken tongue.
so this was on rock then, was it, when you started digging this out?
Gosh,
Yeah, our rock.
It was Arnacton stuff, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
Terrible arm.
So you had to
Bauxite
blast.
rock, innit, they call it.
Yeah, we went up the quarry and got a torpedo net, didn't I?
Yeah.
To put over every time you did blast.
What, to so the stuff wouldn't fly
the
everywhere?
net didn't go up.
Really?
It did, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blimey.
I can't remember. He dropped the drill or something.
When he stripped him, didn't he? I was only about 6 when it happened.
Yeah,
But,
I had to take in the bloody suit.
Well, we were talking about health and safety earlier. In the old days, there was none, was there?
No.
No one worried about anything, did they?
You could get away with blue murder.
I know.
Yeah, because that was a silage pit here.
Yeah.
Then we had,
And this, from there on, that was the cow line area.
Right.
they brought out some little mini tractor. You remember the
Many
mini?
old mini, yeah.
Little mini tractor, bloody useless. We had to change the bloody back wheels,
To turn around the
turn
other way.
around the other way to get up.
Really?
the flipping
Remember they had a
silage pit.
demonstration, didn't they, over there?
Ah.
Was it Burgess over up at Gloucester?
Ah.
They were doing nuptials and bloody this, that and the other. Of course, you see the silage making then and you look at it now.
I
it's,
know.
oh,
Amazing.
crazy.
Isn't it? The
Yeah.
scale you're at now, isn't it? Everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Well, we're
What's
going
the
to...
name of that bloody silage cutter
Kid.
kid? That's right.
He had a kid and then
you
was it
put
Java and so
Direct cut, wasn't it?
yeah.
But,
Yeah, I think-
Never made some of the best silage was made was the double chop.
yeah.
Where you chopped it off with a mower over the back, so it
Yeah.
bruised it, and you didn't go very low. And then you used to let it dry, and then you used to go back in the evening. No, what we used to do, I think Father got me to mow during the evening because the sugars was on.
Yeah,
That's it. Mow
that's
in the
right.
evening, where they were doing the milking, and then we picked it up first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
That's it after milking.
Yeah.
That was it. That's the way we did it. And that was some of the best silage we ever made.
Yeah.
And it still walks over everything what we had.
Yeah.
We used to do bloody wood white clover
Yeah.
and a red clover. You just cut it with a mower, let it stay. And then you had the combine then. I think it was, I can't remember what combine we had, but
You had the Irish Chambers. You had the Irish Chambers with the belt thing. Pick it up, didn't he?
that's right. Pick
Yeah.
it up and it come, instead of coming out through the main bloody was it, they come out the rubbish place.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Because Father got me to, I was only about 6, 7. Father got me, you must have been a weekend or something, and it turned in hot. And he wanted to do it. And he had mother on the tractor for a little while, and mother said I had to go and get a bit of grub or do something, I forget what it was. And he put me on there. And Father sort of set me up and go, I remember bloody trying to...
Off you go, son.
Off you go.
Off you
That's
go.
about the first time I drew it.
Oh, brilliant. That's the way to learn, though, isn't it?
Remember everybody trying to get the clutch in and out.
It'd be heavy clutch, I suppose, wouldn't
It was a long way for a little man.
it? Yeah, that's right. That's the problem Harry's got.
The combine we had down there was Leo Weeks's.
You had a Massey 780
Yeah.
special, didn't you?
He had a Minneapolis.
Yeah. Oh, that was a waste of time, wasn't it?
And he had,
A wheel, didn't he, on the side to lift him up?
I think he was a Forson made, own Forson tractor on rubbers.
You can't
And
remember.
he had, you know where the drive belt was?
Yeah.
Well, it came out there and come back down through the side to drive the combine. It's only about,
Well, you drove the combine off the tractor.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
powered it, did it?
yeah, it was only 4 foot wide.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was the 40 acres, Nova Scotia.
Cool, that took some time then.
And they had,
But he did Itchington as well, wasn't he?
yeah, he had, it was beautiful wheat. It was going for seeding. And he had about half a dozen students out there pulling
Wild oats out.
wood oats in front of the bloody combine.
Crikey.
Over 40 acres.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, isn't it? So Reg,
Hardly use weed as black grass.
yeah.
What was that combine we had here? Was it?
What I really took on when I came back from it was the old Massey 780 Special, but he had one before that. Father bought one before that.
Yeah,
like
the
a big
small-
roller, yeah, little
You
small
had to
one.
pull it up with your
Yeah, that's it,
flipping
by,
hand.
by hand.
Bloody horrible thing.
Yeah, no, he fully runs the bloody side.
Ah.
And the flat next one he had
It
was
only
two little
6
hydraulic
foot-
levers, didn't
6
he?
foot cut, wasn't it?
6 foot cut. That's just so hardly anything, is it?
Was it international? Was it?
It's about, I think it was about 6 or 7 foot. He wasn't no more than that, was he?
No.
What size foot
Because a
cut?
knife, remember it wouldn't drive, it wouldn't shaft at the back, wouldn't it?
Ah,
Kept snapping it, didn't it?
So what size cut are you doing now on yours?
27.
27 foot. And you were talking about a 4 foot cut on one of them.
Ah,
yeah.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, different machines, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Different world now, isn't it?
The one I got, actually, I do love.
Yeah.
But he's come to his age,
Yeah,
he's
we
done
had
his
a-
day. He's done over 2,000 hours on the clock.
Yeah.
that was a Massey Harris, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That one with that was
Yeah,
the
'cause
first
he-
one we had for no bags, wasn't it? Very
The no bag with bulker, wasn't it?
Ah,
So that was a step
That's
on
when
it.
Father put the dryer in the old stone barn.
yeah.
So the
George
step
found
on in
out.
technology then was the jump from bags to
Yeah.
bulk. And when you say bulk, would that keep it in the back of the combine, or do you have someone driving by you all the time
No,
putting a trailer?
no, on the combine.
Yeah.
In.
And that was
auger on the side.
so that was a major
Gate
step.
post and you go through, didn't he?
You did. You snapped a gate post. You went. You left the auger out, did you?
Yeah, no, you couldn't put them in. They're
Oh, I
fixed.
see.
You can't board me, no.
Well, they were fixed place, were they? Oh right.
Yeah.
So you drove
Because the
around.
old Alice Chalmers, you had to put them up on a trailer, didn't
Oh,
you?
wow, they come out your made one
Yeah.
trailer for put on.
Yeah.
Oh, Teddy Button, when he was the one that done that.
Wow. I know. Remember Ted Button?
Yeah.
So you had taken over the top of the gate instead of through the block.
Right. So Reg, should we go and see one of your new tractors down there? Is that all right?
There's one of them.
New
Well,
bit of
not new,
kit.
That one's 3-year-old now.
New to me.
3-year-old, the other one.
Well, this is what's this, milling wheat, is it?
Yeah, anyway.
So that's all stored up, ready to go. Crikey, there's still plenty here. We're not going to starve this winter. We'll be around your house for a bit. Look at that.
We had some in the old barn. We had it like that. I think it was wood.
Yeah, you remember you had mesh, if I remember rightly, you had mesh bins, like mesh bins with hessians all around it.
Yeah,
And a little 2-inch auger.
and I thought, that's bloody ruined.
You got to be careful with this.
Yeah, but it wouldn't that. It was these bloody weevils. little
Yeah,
tiny-
grain weevils. Grain
Was
weevil.
that- I was going to say, was it?
If you get sorted grain weevil, the biggest, well, I'll show you that in a minute to that
Yeah.
kit there. But you've got to get the grain down to 12 degrees centigrade as quick as you possibly
Yeah.
can. But air temperature up in 28, 30, you couldn't do it. That's why these towers are all in.
Oh yeah, because you control the temperature of the wheat with the with those, don't they? And so you're very conscious of any
We've got to
problem.
keep venting and
Yeah.
keep on top of it all the time. It's not just sitting down and
No.
pushing a heap anymore.
You can't
do
just
that.
leave it there. You've got to make sure the quality's there, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to be careful you don't blow damp air in as well.
Right. Otherwise, what you get
Frosty
mildew.
night, all our fans are on.
Right. Otherwise, you get what, mildew and things like that, would you? Or
Oh, it's grey weevil.
Yeah.
The bugs start to grow.
they just love it, do
They
they?
do love it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorted beetle will go right through it, just chew everything to death.
Yeah.
And it multiplies
Really?
thousands in a day.
Really. Goodness.
Yeah.
Not as straightforward as just putting it in a pile and leaving it in the shed
You
then.
can lose it.
Yeah.
I had to move some corn. Who's that for? Dave. Remember Dave Ruckman down at Albury? I think it was Ernie Robertson harvested wheat for him. And we didn't get told, I didn't know anything about it, but Ian Mackey came to see me. He said, could you mind going down and move the wheat out of the bloody little shed? I said, before I make any decision, I said, I'm going down and have a look at it in my car. Ian, come with me. Ian come and pick me up, went down there. And I put a test tube down, he's one around here somewhere. Took a test tube down, crawled up on top of the Wellingtons. I said, don't need to test this anymore. I see it, I was walking on top of it, it was
Yeah.
just like walking on crust.
Ooh.
And the whole thing was moving underneath.
There's the weevils in it, was it?
You had to get Goldenhams, Charles Goldenham up at Winkminster, come down and gassed a lot out.
But what after that? What's it good for? Is it any good for feed wheat or anything?
Went for feed. I didn't.
You
Do
could-
it. I didn't want. No.
Yeah,
Didn't
no good
want
for
to put it through a dryer. Didn't
humans.
want to know
No.
anything about it.
There we go, Dave. So we're walking up. This is a bit different from the tractors you drove, isn't it? Look at this. Look at the size of that. How many horsepower is that, Reg?
315.
315. Look at the size of that. It's amazing, isn't it? It's a New Holland T7.
Yeah. That's a new one, isn't it? That's the latest, isn't it?
No, this one now is probably have this one now. We've had this. He's done 3 seasons.
Another one here, look. Are these both the
The field below, I can plant that in about 4 hours.
these both the same tractor? They looks like, oh, you just got a different paint job on this one.
This is a different number. Yeah, there's a special model, wasn't it?
That's a special model, is it? Oh, right. What's special about it?
It was just when they brought it out first.
Right.
It was a demonstrator. I bought it as a demonstrator.
I mean, getting up inside it's pretty.
Yeah, but I don't.
Look at the size of it. Look at the size of it. Imagine climbing in that. Because the old Fordsons and that you'd be on, the steering wheel would be about this height, wouldn't it?
I think for the old 2 major tires are about big as that, weren't they?
Not even as big as that, were they?
Back.
On the back, yeah.
Yeah, on the back, and that's the front wheel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
It's-
all automatic. Yeah.
It's a beast, isn't it?
Well, that's a good tool, isn't it?
What's
That's a good tool.
the old sprayer? Yeah.
Machine is 12-year-old now.
Is it?
I've had it over. This is my 8th season with it.
Is it?
Still going.
I don't suppose you put many hours on it, do you? How many hours of spraying? Well, you've got a lot of spraying to do,
The
don't
clock
you?
broke down at 2,700. I am bloody bothered with it.
Are you putting your fertiliser on with that as well?
Yes, put
So you do
fertiliser,
liquid
liquid fertiliser,
fertiliser,
go on it.
and then, so I presume you have to do a really thorough wash through every time.
Yeah,
between-
you got volume. I wash it down, water every night. We're finished with it.
Well, yeah, there was a tank on the back of the bloody lift, wasn't it?
Remember, there was an old dormant sprayer, wasn't it? You had to get the lift out and get the booms out.
Because in those
Was that about
days,
6 metres, was it?
Something like that.
in those days they had no cab, and you probably weren't wearing any respirator or
Oh,
anything,
you
and,
remember the old rubber top? They used to go pump off.
and you'd be using some horrible chemicals in those days, wouldn't you? Be
Oh,
DDT
yeah.
and all sorts, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Then a spreader, we had the same thing, wasn't it?
A lot of chemicals what they're using then. I think it was one called Durspan or something like that. Did leather jackets and wireworm. Well, that's all banned.
Is it?
A
Yeah.
lot of chemicals which you use those days that are gone now. You're not
Yeah,
gonna use.
that's right.
Well, that stuff you used to kill the wheat, the grass with.
Yeah, the Gamoxo.
Oh,
Gramoxone,
That was
yeah.
another horrible
Is
one.
that gone now, Gramoxone? I mean, I think remember that.
kill
Reglone, that's
Yeah.
all
all
the
gone.
birds, did it? Kill the birds.
Did it? Christ.
Many people lost their dogs through it.
No way, really?
And another one was very lethal was slug pellets in those days, wasn't it?
Right.
Because the slug pellet was designed to tempt the slug
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
And people lost their dogs through it. People, where's my dog gone? He's gone and bloody nibbled into the bloody slug
Oh,
pellet bag,
crikey.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a
Dog.
crude. They were crude, weren't they? The chemicals then.
That spreader we had, he wasn't too bad, but when I went up to Gloucester with our Sue, we had a ride in the helicopter,
Yeah.
and he was flying along, and he said, "Why is it that corn down there?" He said, "Dark and light." I said, "It's spreading the bloody nitrogen." I said,
Yeah, but the old spreaders, no.
I used to cut it down a bit. I never used to get it.
Yeah, it's quite honestly.
Take a bit more time.
This sprayer is 30 metres wide,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
30
actually
metres?
Pump fluid through in the centre, but and in the end of the booms, feeds it in the end of the boom as well, so you get pressure both ways.
That's amazing width, isn't
Is
it?
it, and when you turn it off, it sends it another way round.
Right.
So it keeps the pressure in the boom all the time, then it flicks it back in. It's a very clever bit of kit.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been modified. I modified it a couple of times.
Oh, come on, buddy.
It's changed a bit since your day, hasn't it, Dave? Eh? I bet you can't believe the difference, can you?
But this one, when you're driving in the field, it has got auto steer on it. But
Has it?
we turn
Yeah.
that off. I don't want it.
It's not got very narrow tyres though. I'm surprised at how
That's
wide
for
they
doing
are.
wet ground.
Is it? Have you got wheels to change on it? Because I think you've got thin wheels for it. I mean, yeah. So I presume that you change them.
Change them, yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible job.
But that's the thing about this now. You've got all these tram lines. I mean, tram lines are fairly new, aren't they? Because I know historically they weren't there. And if you watch some of these old films where they try and recreate the past, like the 19th century, that's how you can spot they've made a mistake, is you see tram lines in a field. Because when you first started, were they using tram lines?
Well, I think all you did on the field was it, David? You went
Yes.
and put a bit of fertiliser on, didn't you?
Yeah.
Remember the old MCPA, just MCP, CMPP plus, wasn't it? That's all we had for weed killer. And that was it. There's no fungicides for diseases, none of that. See, it's
So you hardly went out?
now you're travelling over the same tram line. Fertiliser goes on at 3 stages,
Yeah.
3 times over. Then you go and put on you might be doing black grass, so you go on early. We just done pre-emergent spray, which is we just done last weekend. I have to do the rape with fox. I do the charlock when we get a frosty time. Then in January, I should travel again over the rape with AstroCurb. That'll kill any black grass or weed in the bottom, because the rape now will die. The leaf, what you see on there now, will just literally die back, and then you get a centrepiece come up. So it's open to the spring for a bit of weed starts growing, but once you get that AstroCurb, that stops that, then all of a sudden you see it at the ground. And I suppose fertilising, we go about 2 or 3 times, so you're going nearly 7 times over one tram line.
So you need to have a tram line, don't you? Because if you're doing that all over a crop, it just decimated, wouldn't it?
I used to guess that happen.
Yeah.
We ought to, or just overdo it, but
Yeah. Wow.
no,
Oh, it's a different sort of animal, isn't it?
different world.
Yeah. No.
You know, on the farm we used to pick all the fertiliser up, didn't you, everything?
Well, they used to come in
Nowadays, we're not allowed to
60
pick
kg.
anything
It was
up.
those bags, weren't they? Were they 50 kg or something, weren't
Yeah.
they? They were
You don't
horrendous
touch
things.
them. No.
We had a load of fertiliser come, and your dad said, go and put that on that home field. It's all right, so I took it trolley down first, then went down with a tractor and spreader, and I tipped it in the back, and when I went to put it in, I thought, "Christ, what's going on?" It was all going funny, it was going wet.
Yeah.
And he said, "There's something wrong with this," so he rung them up and they come and fetch it back.
Yeah. For those old,
stuff now, they all come to these big bags now.
but those bags were massively heavy, weren't they? And they all moved by hand, weren't they? Yeah. No, that's what you get. A nice.
Yeah, that's 600. We get 2 seed cord in 500s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got to pick it up with this, son.
Yeah, pick it up with that.
Not too bad. No wonder every farmer was crippled back in the old days, though, with all the hard manual work they did. You know.
When we was on the threshing machine here, it was 2 1/4 underweight bloody
Bags,
gobs of bags, wasn't it? And they come up the bloody elevator and take them on it. Oh,
No wonder they're all bent double and they've got bad hips and all sorts, because
joints out.
because the sheer physical graft on the body was horrendous, wasn't it? And now you just lift this
Little 6-metre sprayer on the back of it.
on the back of there. Yeah, that's a nice
Yeah.
little thing, isn't it?
You know, you don't know where you're going. You can't see where you've been.
Yeah.
But we do patch with it. See, it's so quick to do
Yeah.
a patch. Get a bad patch on where you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes life easier rather than trying to get a tractor in there, doesn't it?
2 new tyres on the front.
Yeah. Oh, you've got.
But I pay more for your tyres than what you did to your Massey tractor.
How much were they then for 2 new tyres?
500 quid for 2 new tyres.
Really? What was all that about then? That's
they're
a dig job. They're not big, are they? You're not getting much rubber for your money.
You know, bloody well, eh?
Hey?
The other side, he's gone down to the canvas.
You need to go back to some lugs like Dave was on about earlier. Get some lugs on them. It's a lovely little thing, that, isn't it?
It's only 6,000 miles.
Is it? But it's nice, isn't it? It's a lovely little nippy thing, isn't it?
You know what? We put 20 litres of fuel in, and lasts us a month.
Yeah, I bet. It's not
You
much
don't use
weight
no
to it, is there?
no wonder old John really wasn't he got his.
Oh, yeah.
Built,
Up in the
Yeah.
John pulling,
It's
yeah.
the, what is it?
He's funny, you don't look coming out of his garage, does he? He don't look nowhere. I've been with him
Oh,
twice,
dear.
and I think, right, don't ride in that, we're going to get fucking murdered.
Right, well, we've pretty well walked around the farm and had a good little chat with you guys. So I'll probably wrap it up here, but just say thanks, Reg, for letting us have a little wander around. And thanks, Dave, for coming down and giving us a bit of your memories. All right.
Well, I tell you what, Dave, you remember when we were doing potatoes down Hackett?
What happened down there?
Remember the ladies down there?
The ladies?
Well, the point was,
No, we're going into history now, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
we had the long wheelbase bloody Land Rover.
That's it.
And we
you
get
got
all,
horse
pick up
box
the
here.
women, take them down.
Right. Well, they
Prams and all.
Yeah. And one night coming home, I thought, what a bloody job to get out of our cut, you know. I thought, I never said nothing, but they had bloody basketfuls of bloody taters.
Well, they were taking them home, were they? They knew what they were doing. Get some free spuds.
Oh, they used to have some fun, though. Come off it.
I used to have some bloody fun.
Yeah, I bet. Good on you.
Potato riddling as well, didn't you? Got a bit of old times on that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the ladies used to do turkeys as well, didn't
Yeah.
But I tell you what, that machinery we had on the Dexter was for planting. You sit on there and just keep putting the spuds in the wheel going round. And then when you come to boot it up, take that off, you just boot them up again. But to get them out, I've never seen anything like that, but it was like that.
Yeah.
And it just appear on the ground.
It just
You
appeared
didn't smash the bloody, today you get bloody spuds bashed about, don't you?
Oh, the trouble is it's getting from where they lift them up into the bins,
Yeah.
and it's all bulk,
Yeah.
and that's where the damage is done. Because potatoes don't like being in a heap too long, does it?
No. But we used to have crates and the women used to pick them up,
Yeah.
put them in the crates. No
I can never
damage.
get. I used to. That would be far.
Yeah,
out
no
when you go back
damage
to
at
school.
all.
And you and Norbert Day. Remember old Norbert Day?
Knocker.
Knocker. That's it. Yeah.
I never
used to go
gonna
to get the women. And they used to have prams and all full of potatoes.
Oh, crazy.
Part of the perk of the job, wasn't it? Take some spuds
What's the
home.
matter with this Land Rover I got you? Get out of that cut.
They're all taking their spuds home. Oh, boys. Thanks very much anyway, guys. All right, I'll probably talk to you another time because you've got plenty of stories, haven't you? All right, cheers.